What up, anime world? We're back. Madara's Corner, breaking down everything anime. Probably a few animes that some of you probably don't like, but it's okay because there's always an anime for everybody. I feel. Um, we've been on Vinland Saga and Tokyo Revengers for the past 2 weeks now. Episode 3 for both came
Three
out.
or third,
Yeah,
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 the third week,
Yeah, we're on three
yeah,
episodes.
third
Yeah,
week,
it's been. It's. I mean,
yeah.
it's been kind of hard to keep up with at least one of them for sure. It's uh which one do you want to start with then?
Man, what's going on, man? YouTube world, man. I understand where Nick is coming from. The Tokyo Revengers, it's time to pick up. Vinland Saga, I guess we're getting to the pickup. The way of things sounding, at the end of 23 minutes. So we had all that up, right? That's an hour and 9 minutes of nothing. Of nothing. All right, I take that back. An hour and 8 minutes of nothing.
Yeah.
So that's my feelings on Vinland Saga. Man, I recommended it, so I feel like I gotta take responsibility for it because I recommended it, and it has let me down. 3 episodes so far, so uh, I think I when I say for Nick and myself, we want to be fair to our animates. So if they're doing good, we're gonna tell them, hey, they're doing good. If they're doing bad, hey, man, your episodes are crap. Let's get this redone, man. Let's pick up this pace. You can't go 3 episodes and nothing, man. And I get it, like the first episode sets up the scene, but like, man, come on, man. By the third one, we need to have a little bit of story development here. So
Yeah.
that's where I feel on Vinland. But yeah, man, Tokyo Revengers, Nick, uh, you definitely got this one. Like I said, I claim Vinland until it gets good, and then I can be like, oh yeah, let me go. But nah, I was just like, uh, yeah, but yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. Yeah, I mean, Tokyo Revengers, we talked about last week. It kind of fell off of the storyline, and I was I was hoping that this episode would be more story, more getting us to the point of it, because like you said before, this is all talk. Yes, there's fighting, there's gang fights here and there, but it's mainly talk. It's mainly telling the story of what's going to happen, type of stuff. And they kind of introduced the Black Dragons, of course, which they start. I liked it though. They started going into a little bit of detail of the Black Dragons, of who they are, the history of how the Black Dragons and how Toman became like arch enemies, and the history. And they didn't like have to go through a whole sprue of it of 15 minutes or whatever. It was just straight. This was their arch enemy. We fought them. We fought the ninth generation Black Dragon leader. We beat them. That's how we got so famous so fast, as beating the Black Dragons, which controlled pretty much a whole dominant area. And then they talk about Black Dragons now, of how Shiba has them pretty much
I think
as.
it was the ninth generation, right? The ninth
Yeah,
generation of Black Dragons, right? And
yeah,
that was the one that Tobin went in there and whooped them butts, took them
yeah,
down. And then they're like, now it's the 10th generation, and they're like, this is a whole new Black Dragon. This is a more dangerous, more, and that kind of answered that question too. Like, remember I told you, like, hey, where's the Yakuza and then the Majin, right? Gangs, the sub gangs, like, hey,
yeah,
where's a hardcore gang member? Obviously, before Black Dragon wasn't a hardcore as it is now. So it kind of answered that question, and that's how Tokyo Revengers is, man. It's a lot of talk and a lot of story building. So you expect that going into Tokyo Revengers. So I can't fault it or be mad at it. But yeah, I like how he broke it down. Oh, Uh, what's his name? Oh, or Chai?
oh, Shifu.
Chifu.
Yeah,
Chifu. Yeah, Chifu. Yeah, the way he broke it down and everything, and it was kind of good to get the context breakdown because, like, I prior maybe in the manga it gave you like a breakdown of all the gangs and stuff like that and where they are maybe in the manga, but as far as the show is, we only know of Toman and like three other gangs that fought at Valhalla.
Yeah, you got
So
Morbius,
but they were all
Valhalla.
like almost on the same. Yeah, they were almost like all on the same level. And then here comes Black Dragon, in this one where he's like beats up kids randomly in the streets, like don't even know who you are, man, just to death, you know. So, yeah, so, so I just want to throw that in there.
No, no, I agree. I mean, it's funny because it's like it went just full fledged story mode a bit, like drastically. I mean, it showed you, of course, Takamichi almost getting pretty much killed in the streets, and his Shiba's brother pretty much was just like, "Yo, I'll give up my spot in Toman if you let him live." And he sure enough, that's really pretty much what he wanted. He wanted him to be a part of his Black Dragon crew, and then it got to the point where, of course, Takamichi always wakes up and is like, "I don't know what's going on." And then he realizes he's talking in his room and his friends are actually there, and he doesn't even realize that they're Tomen. And they're like, "Dude, you brought us in here. Like, we're part of your first division. What are you talking about?" And then Shifu's there, like, "Yeah, bro. Like, we're all a part of it. You brought them in here. Remember that?" And so it gets to the point where he's never told anybody about his 12-year skip and how what he's been doing. And I guess he finally has a breakdown when it's him and Shifu, and he tells him like, "Hey, I'm from the future, and and I've been trying to save Toman. I've been trying to save different people." And Shifu wasn't honestly surprised. He was like, "Oh, I kind of figured out when you told Baji, stay, please don't die." Or and he's like, I kind of understood, like, why would you say that? But you've been kind of pulling the strings, and he's like, you've been doing it by yourself. Like, you've been telling nobody about it. It's just been you. And you see kind of why he's been pushed into, I mean, a first division of a top gang because of the decisions he makes, I mean, on the fly. And you kind of get a realization of it too, because now he knows, like, he has to do certain things again to change the future that he saw, of course, of what's his name, the other Shiba brother of oh my gosh.
But also, also too, on top of that, it's a couple of things as well. It's like first, it's amazing how smart and how intelligent these 16-year-old kids can figure out the concept of the universe bending and time travel and butterfly effects and stuff like that. Let me tell you, I was 16-year-old once and I didn't even give a rat's damn about the theory. There ain't no string theory in my goddamn repertoire when I was 16 years old. Just throwing it out there, okay? Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Just gang level guys figuring out the cosmos, right? Figuring out the theories of relativity, right? So back to the say. But on top of that, it's also too he has the mentality of a 19-year-old or however old he did when he got pushed in front of the train. Remember? Like he
Yeah.
has the mentality of it, right? So he doesn't have the mentality of 28-year-old dang, man, forget his name. Man, I'm horrible with these names, ain't I? He doesn't have his mentality like if he was 28 years old. And I think that's really where like the hardcore effect of this goes into because there's a lot of mistakes that he makes that like if like me, if I went back 38 years old, right? And I went back to my 16-year-old self, I would be able to like cognitively, like really like try to understand, get these things down, figure out the plan, know the next move because I lived 38 years on this earth, right? But he
Yeah.
doesn't have that mentality. So when he gets older, right, when he go flashbacks when he's older, like 25, 23, and he does this dumb stuff, we have to remember that his mentality is still of a 19-year-old, 20, like 19-year-old, 18-year-old kid. So not kid, but like young adult.
Yeah.
So Takamichi, he doesn't have that mentality. So when he goes back when he's 16, it's like he has that. He doesn't have the wherewithal, like because like in the episode, it's like, hey, how do I persuade Mikey from not letting this dude go away, right? Like, how do I persuade him, right? What do I tell him, right? And it's like he can't come up with his own like plan, his formulate his own mission. He relied on another 16-year-old. And what was their divisive plan? What was it?
He,
What plan A?
he brought up
What
like his
was plan
favorite
A?
treat or something.
Right? And then
Yeah.
plan B, what it was written on that little notepad, what was plan B? It was gumption. Have
Yeah.
gumption, bro. And he was like, like that's not the mentality of someone who's 38 years old who's trying to stop a world ending, not world ending, but like a life ending event. Like you're
Yeah.
not going to use that kind of
That
plan.
method.
So that's kind of like I take that in perspective when I'm looking at Tokyo Revengers, because I had to, because I was like, why is he making all these dumb moves, man? Why is he
Yeah.
making these moves that don't make sense, And then like after I went back and I watched like 1, 2, 3 again, and I was like, oh yeah, you know what? That's right, because his mind isn't developed like an adult. He's still
Yeah.
stuck in this like I gotta save Hinata. Like if it was me as an adult, I would understand like, hey, two things need to happen. Me never knowing her, I would like when I was a kid, I would say, hey, get away from me, leave me alone. Therefore, pushing her away and her never being around me, right? Or
Yeah.
two, accept the fact that she died and see what I can do to prevent other things from happening. Like that's as an adult, you have to cope those coping mechanisms, right? But he doesn't. He's a 16-year-old kid time traveling from not an 18-year-old kid traveling from 25, 26 back to 16, 15, 16 years old,
Yeah.
so it's like he doesn't have that. But yeah, so that's just my 2 cents on that situation right there, with that.
No, no, I agree. I mean, it's we finally got a glimpse. I mean, of Mikey and Draken and our. I want to
Draken.
keep calling him Dragon for some reason, but I know it is not Dragon.
No, you're close. Draken. Yeah,
Yeah,
Draken.
yeah,
Yeah.
Draken. Yeah, I remember the first episode I called him Dragon. And I was like, that's not even right. Yeah, but Dragon. You get them all. You get
Hey,
the
I can't even get the
whole.
main character name.
Yeah, you get the whole.
I keep forgetting it.
What we get, it's because we're watching. So I know you watch more anime than I do, so I can just imagine. I've been messing up the names because I'll switch to anime and I'm like, oh, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? And but I mean, you get the whole gang this time. I mean, you get all the vice captains, you get everybody, and you start to realize like now. I mean, they're always hyped for some reason to go out and fight. I mean, that's what they love to do. And of course, I mean, I know Shifu ended up finding out who kills him in the future. Takamichi told him that Kisaki is pretty much the antagonist of everything. But one of my favorites, he's never really talked about, is the Sixth Division Captain Nahoya Kawada, the guy with the pink hair. Like he just always seems ready to go, ready to fight. Like doesn't care about anything. But it comes down to Mike, like Mikey said, it's not anybody's choice. Well, Takamichi, of course, declined to let what's his name, Hakaki Shiba leave, and then it was basically down to the second division captain Takashi Mitsuya. And it's funny because it ends on a. I like cliffhangers in some animes. It leaves on a cliffhanger where he's like, "I'm not letting you leave." Like, what are you talking about? And then they don't give you a preview, so I don't know what's going to happen now. But you get everybody. You start to see like also what Takamichi has to do now in this gang. And Shifu kind of brings it up as like, you're the first division captain. We are going to go with you, but you are rebuilding this the whole way. Because he talks about the breakdown of the gang. Of course, you have what's his name to Kisaki, which was like 100 people that he brought in with Valhalla, and then you have what I think the Morbius members or whatever. So I mean, you have of course the gangs that joined them in and brought their people. So he's having to build his gang from the bottom up on his first division. So it's kind of cool because as the hero, I guess, Tokyo Revengers, you're starting to see like I guess he's starting to get his crew together, and it's his crew of his friends at first, Shifu, people that are loyal to him, people that he likes. So it kind of leaves the door open of like who else is he going to get? Who else is in this Tokyo Revengers world that he's going to bring in and, help out, Toman in this fight with Black Dragons. And I mean, I'm always happy also when I get a picture of Mikey just chilling, just hanging out, just not doing anything. I mean, there's the interesting thing is we remember uh, last season, of course, you had your during the I think the Valhalla battle. You had a bunch of other gangs that we don't know who they are, what they are. Like they showed them and showed their names. We don't know exactly where they play out in this universe of Tokyo Revengers yet. And so it's kind of interesting if they're going to play a part this season, if they're not going to play a part this season, or what we're going to get because it's very open still with the story. It seems like
No, right. I totally agree. The we're slowly learning the like complete hierarchy in that Tokyo's version, of
yeah,
games. So definitely it's something to see. I don't yeah, I like the growth path that is being set. Like I said, we know Tokyo Revengers is about talk, so definitely we're gonna get that kind of kind of mode from them right now, and that whole story building, which is good. So the list for the game structure is that's what's going to be interesting because I'm a little still confused on because they really haven't laid out like okay, so they have like Mikey, right, and then the vice captains, and then like like you said, are they in charge of bringing in like the vice captains in charge of bringing in their own people to make up their game? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or is it like like everybody is trying to bring in their own game? Like is Mikey part of a branch that we're not seeing yet? And then like they all go up to like a head branch, like kind of like the head branch of the family,
yeah,
so it goes like Mikey is then therefore underneath his boss, and then Mikey brought in all the other guys and that kind of situation, like man,
yeah,
I don't know Japanese mafia or game Japanese
yeah,
games like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I guess let me get that broken down for you guys, and then I'm
Yeah.
bring that on to the next one.
I
That whole
know
game branch, right?
it. It kind of is interesting too because I know when they talked about Black Dragons, they said it's not the whole gang that's really the problem; it's the murder squad. Of course, of the guys we saw already, that is, it's pretty much they're just psychos. They're crazy people. I mean, Hijami and Seishu, they both look psychotic with the knives hanging out and just didn't care honestly. And it kind of is starting to build the. I guess it's gonna take a while, like you said. It's gonna build that structure of what is a gang in that form of self. But I mean, I'm hoping that it keeps growing the way it is because you're getting different characters, like you said, of the divisions and everything. I know there was like the originals, and then now there's I believe 8 division captains, and then it breaks down to their vice and all that. So we're starting to see more structure. They're talking about it a bit more of who's under who, and because it's a time skip, so of course new characters, new people moving around, and this and that. So I think they're doing good so
Yeah.
far on this episode.
Yeah, man. I'm on the next episode. I'm gonna get like their kind of like hierarchy structure, and then we can just do a little breakdown of their hierarchy structure so that we can have a visual aid to it.
Yeah,
That I think it would help out. Because as we progress, we want to know like who's all involved in like how this works out in this world of Tokyo Revengers. So definitely, I think that would help out. Like I said, because me, man, quite honestly, I like it. I definitely like this week's episode. it started off weird because I was watching it and I was like, ah man, it's gonna be another like crime episode, you know. And then as it got further into the story, I was like, oh okay, yeah, man. We're doing a little breakdown and telling us where the gangs are, what's the structure, and then they had the meeting. I thought they were gonna hold the meeting off to the next episode, to be quite honest. And they had the
Yeah.
meeting jump in there, and it was like, oh man, yeah, that's good. And then it had that little funny part with it, man, where they were like, Plan A, give them a. It was like, what? Give him man. I forgot the day snack's name, but give him the pancake.
Yeah.
It's a famous Japanese pancake, and I escaped in my mind. The name it starts with a D. So he's like, give him a pancake, and then it was like, what? You got get this out of my face, man. He was like, we're having a meeting, man. Like,
They
what are
were
you
so
doing?
disrespectful.
Like that dude, yeah. It was like, dude, you're not taking this serious, like, And then,
Yeah.
but it kind of did. It kind of like it makes you think, like, how did he leave Toman then? Does Haka how does he leave Haku? How does he leave Toman? Does he leave it through like abandonment, desertment? Betrayal. Is he gonna turn against Tamakichi? Is that what's happening here? So it kind of leaves
Yeah.
that up in the air. Like how does it work? So me, obviously, I think there's a betrayal. So I think there's going to be like not maybe Haku, but I think maybe his captain betrays Toman, and then therefore takes him with him, to the Black
Yeah.
Dragon. Now knowing that the Black Dragon is, because they even kind of called him out too. It was like, hey man, you've been spying on us to your brother this entire time, and so it made it kind of allude that some type of information was being seeked out, and Black Dragon knew some things that shouldn't have been known. So that's the kind of thing. Like, oh, okay, man, maybe there's like that kind of betrayal there, and so that's my theory. That's my theory. Hopefully that happens next. Like I said, I'm not reading the manga forward, so I can have total guesses like everybody else. So I'm just being a normal normie about it, a normal watcher. So hopefully it works out, man, and we'll see what's up.
What do you want to? What would you grade it this week on Tokyo Revengers of episode 3?
Out of my 5-star rating, I
Yeah.
will give it a solid 3.5. I'm giving it a solid 3.5. Story was driven forward. Animation, of course, I love the animation. It was really good.
Yeah.
Kind of fantastical on how Chifu is able to like just out of a dime, like, oh, I know you're from the future, blah blah blah. That kind of like
Yeah.
dispense this disbelief of reality. You have to go there. That's the part I didn't like, because I would be like him to have a more natural, organic reaction to it. Be like, what? Like, man, you're crazy, bro. Like, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is out of mind. What do you mean time traveling? No, he was like, I kind of figured since you were blah 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 blah. It's like, bro, if my friend told me that, I'd be like, dude, you're smoking too much weed. Let's make sure this shit ain't laced with PCP. All right. So that's the kind of reaction I would give him,
Yeah.
man. So but yeah, definitely a 3.5. I liked it. I thought it was really good. Good storytelling and building world art. So definitely move the plot forward. So I'm happy with it. But yeah, I give it a 3.5. My book.
I am not mad at that score. I was leaning towards a 3, but I think I'll be generous and give it the 0.5 also. I do agree. I was waiting more for a Shifu like joke or him not agreeing with him, like you're crazy, Takamichi type stuff. And I never got that. It was just straight, oh yeah, I know. Or oh, I'm gonna get killed by so and so. Yeah, I know that. Like it was just like, huh? Like this is kind of weird. And I felt if you gave us a little more of the in part instead of all that extra eating ramen, like it's cool. I mean, I like it. It makes it funny and stuff. Yeah, those funny moments. but I just give me a bit more of that story moment because it felt like that the last episode where they had all that stuff and the fluff in the front and then something in the end, and it's just like, all right, all right. I mean, it gave us more this time though. It gave us more about the history, so I didn't mind that, and for sure. Um, I'm not expecting fighting everyone. I know they're building up. They always build up to the big fight, and then you get a episode or two of it, and then it's over. So I'm not worried about that. But yeah, I think 3.5 is good. It's leading to the right way. I think gave me enough information to be like, okay, I want to wait for next week. So yeah, I think I'm comfortable at that spot right there. And I got to see most of Tolman, so I'm
Really
cool with
good.
it.
Yeah, man, I totally 100% agree. I think they a little more story driven. It would have put it 4 in my book. Threw some action in there, like some badass fight scene. I would have been like, boom, that's my ticket. I'm good.
Yeah,
That's a solid 4 episode right there. But it did that whole ramen scene, and I was like, okay, whatever, dude. And then of course, and you're supposed to throw up a poll today, man. I don't know why you did it, man. I was like, I like towards the end of the day, I was like, should I throw it up or what? Because
I just
more tears, man. Even Chief for you was like, hey, calm down, dog. Don't why you crying? Like,
yeah.
like what we told me, bro. We don't be crying. So yeah, definitely.
He's the first division. He's
I was just like,
oh man.
yeah, he's like your first division, man. All right, man. Okay, so what? Vinland next.
Yeah, we can do Vinland. Yeah,
How do I describe this episode? I sent you a meme. If you could throw the meme up on there, I
I
sent
got
you a
you.
meme. It
Yeah.
is emo Vinland. That's how I describe this episode. So let me take you back to our fantastical world of 10 the 11th century. It is 10:15. They are basically still on the farm. We find out what these guys do with the son of the master of the field. They're actually his bodyguard. So one of them name is Fox, and the other one is it's escaping me. I think it was like Boar or something like that. So they take them into this basically bar. They're drinking all night long, and they come to the conclusion of, hey, Master Ullman, young Master, let me tell you, you know what you're missing? You're missing some blood on your hands, bro. Like you're wet behind the ears. You haven't killed nobody. You didn't fight nobody. You're like, how are you gonna go over there to Prince Coot's army and join them if you ain't nothing? You didn't even took a life before. So let me show you. So they skip to the next day. They make their way out to the farm. They grab Aaron and Thorfinn, and they look at them. They're like, "Oh, y'all two capable guys. Let's bring them on over here." So since they're still slaves and everything, they have to do what they say. So they make this long walk. Aaron is already in suspicion of what these guys want. He figures out, he's like, hey, man, they're a little too powerful. They got swords. What's going on, Thorfinn? Thorfinn's like, hey, yeah, they're the master's bodyguard. And he's like, ah, man, this isn't going to lead to anything good. So they make this long walk to this, I guess, like other area of his farm, I guess, like some, like, I
I
guess
think it's where
I have to go
I
back
guess
and
it's
look
where
how
they say
large
it.
the farm is because they've been walking for a minute. Oh, go ahead.
I think it's where their house stat is what they said. It's like where the guards or whatever are housed at. Because
Yeah, like it's like a mini barracks. That's what
yeah,
like.
yeah,
I got to
basically, yeah,
see how large this farm is, man. Because yeah, it's like a mini barracks way out in the countryside. So it has to be this massive land, right?
yeah.
Massive country, right? In Denmark. So they make their way over there. They get down to basically a fighting circle, and they put Thorfinn and Aaron in front of Ullman, and tell them basically Ullman's like, "Hey, pick who you want, and fight them to the death. You got a sword, and they're basically barehanded, So they're just trying to boost up Ullman's confidence.
Yeah.
Get him unwet around the ears, fighting, killing, because they're like basically explaining to him like, hey, when you're in battle and you kill, it's different than playing swords.
Yeah.
So Aaron decides out of nowhere to jump in there and be like, "Ah, man, like Thorfinn, run! You're young, go run off and live your life, man." And guess who's standing in the rain in the corner? Like an REM song. Losing his religion. It's old Thorfinn. Like he ain't sitting there
Yeah.
like emo.
That
Like
look.
so. Fox notices that, Aaron is struggling with Orman and on the floor and, like giving a good, holding him down, pinning him down basically, and that's because Orman's not a fighter. We already established that in episode 2. He's not a fighter. He's not a warrior. He just has a delusion of grandeur, he
Yeah.
needs to be a farmer, right? So there, Aaron is holding them down and, they're struggling. Thorfinn is thinking and contemplating life, and then he speaks up. He's like, "Hey, I'll die," and Fox, not Fox, yeah, Fox stops and was like, "What? Like, what you say?" Everybody like kind of like pauses because he's seeking death, right? So Fox walks up to him and like basically intimidates him. So he pulls out a sword and like, "Hey, if you don't care for your life and you want to die," but he goes, "You got to remember, everyone cares for the life in the end. Like no matter
Yeah.
how hard you try to die, in the end, you really care for your life, right?" So he starts like swinging his sword around, making these little tiny slashes, and demonstrating that it kind of parallels earlier when Omen's in the house, like doing the chicha, right, and the to the moth, and nothing happens to the moth, and then it shows Fox doing his, and it shows the real skill, the control of the sword, showing them that this is a man who's been through war, who's tortured a few people in his life,
Yeah.
so he's giving them these slashes all over his body. And that's where you could just throw up the whole hair over like that. And Thorfinn, he's like, "Nah, man, life is worthless, bro. Like, has no meaning, man." And it's just like, oh, Lord, they turned him emo, bro. They turned him into a Sasuke, bro. Like, he's a
Yeah.
Sasuke, man, with no purpose, right? Like, no purpose. So I was like highly disappointed because we went from like a vengeful, hateful Thorfinn, right? They killed his father. Like he just lived for death, like not death. He lived for revenge. And then like I understand they took Askin away and therefore,
Yeah.
left them that vacant hole, right? But like at the same purpose, like, they could, like what are you talking about? Like if they took that out, his uncle is still there, Thorkin, who is
Yeah.
like, "Hey, like I will literally destroy you with the look, like you took 2 of my fingers, I'm gonna take your life,
Yeah.
like he still has a greater fight out there. Like, what is he doing? This is not the Thorfinn we know to run,
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like weird, it's like they forgot about all that. They forgot all about Thorkin, like him, like basically, like, "I'm gonna find you. Don't worry, you can run to the ends of the earth. I will hunt you down and find you."
Yeah.
Like they forgot about all that. Like it's been like 6 years and they just forgot about all that. So that ended. So as he's cutting up Thorfinn and like making all his points, he's basically saying that he'll accept death. Fox is like, no. He was like, "Dude, everybody dies, and you need to have." It's kind of like a reverse because he's like, "Look, like everyone fears death, and fearing death is
Yeah.
good. It keeps you alive. And he's like, Thorfinn's like, "I don't fear death. I die in death." So they cut to the next scene, and they show a man in the yard in the barn. I guess he's like, "Oh," so he's important because they spend an extra like 30 seconds on him, so he's an important guy. And so he's like, tells the farmer, "Hey, you got some breakfast?" Farmer like, "Nah, man, you gotta come and cook. You gotta come and cut wheat, man. We gotta work before we eat breakfast." And he's like, "Nah, man, I'm just gonna hop on this horse, and I'm just gonna ride away, man." So he just hops on the horse, starts making his way leisurely. He gets to the campsite, to the barracks, and he notices Fox, cutting up Thorfinn, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on over here?" And then he's like, we find out that his name is Snake. So they obviously they're all mercenaries, right? Mercenaries are hire.
Yeah.
They're protecting the farm, obviously, right? They all got animal names, so obviously those aren't their real names. Those are probably code name mercenary names. So he goes there and he basically sees Thorfinn like not flinching, didn't even blink when they cut him through the eye, cut him right underneath above his eye, right underneath his eye. He didn't even blink, so that shows some gumption, that shows some power. And then he walks over there and he basically does a fist pump right to his face, to Fox's face, and Fox crying, bashing his teeth out and stuff like that. So it shows his power. Of course, he's the top dog there. And he's like, "Hey," and I forgot the other guy's name. I think his name was like Boar or something like that. And he was like, "Hey, you, what's up? What's going on here?" And then literally ends. Like literally ends, man. It's trying. It's trying. I did miss one part. Thorfinn was sleeping, and he was having, I guess, like a PTS dream, and woke up screaming and crying and stuff like that. And Aaron was like, "Dude, what's going on?" And he was like, "Nothing," and then walks off. So yeah, that happened too. So but Nick, any insight into this amazing episode of Vinland Saga season 2, episode 3?
For me, I guess when Thorfinn did this transformation to emo Green Day guy or whatever, I I kind of felt at a time where it's like maybe he's transitioning into like how his dad was, and I was giving him that benefit. Like maybe he's like, I don't need to fight no more, this and that. But then it just started to keep going even more now, where it's just straight like emo when the guy was cutting him up and everything. He cut his ear off, like half of his ear off, and he was just like, oh well, I don't need it. Like it was just a side of Thorfinn I've never thought I would see at all ever, and it's just very hard to watch a guy that you saw dominating so much as like a top Viking to just this like. And I mean, I'm hoping it's gonna change at some point because they're still telling the story of, I guess, how him and Aaron got together. I know when I was looking up stuff, I
One.
kind of mentioned, yeah.
Oh no. I would say
Oh
1.5 episodes. It should have took one
yeah,
and a
yeah,
half episode.
yeah.
1.5 episode. That's all it should have took. But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
break
no,
it
no,
like
you're
that.
good. Yeah, I did see it. Whereas, like, I think Snake's gonna, since he protected them, I guess, I feel like he's gonna take that new Escalade, like, take care of feeling. Cause I think when I looked, he was like 34, so he's much older than them, of course. Um,
Right.
and it's gonna start moving into, I think, more of the Viking fight of everything going on, and I think they're just trying to build these characters up so you know what's gonna happen when it happens, but it just is dragging so much. It's like the log they dragged last episode. It's just dragging the whole way, and the only action I got was the ear getting cut off. That was about it. Everything else was talk, and it was just, yeah, like him and Aaron and the other slave chick flirting. There was that. I was like, there wasn't much really. It was, eh.
Oh, you call that flirty? That
I
was
mean, I'm gonna
flirting to
say it
you,
was flirting
bro.
for this.
I,
I don't
I
know
didn't
what it
even see
was. I
no
mean,
flirtation, bro. I skipped
he,
right past that, man. I didn't even know they were
I'm
flirty.
trying to give it something, some type of life here, because I watched it. You told me how bad it was. I watched it, and I was even more mad that I watched it at the time I did. I was like, I wasted 15 to 20 minutes right now.
Oh, that was torture. So leisurebites.com, Sidhat is the author name of this synopsis, right? And he makes a good point. He goes, while the show looks and sounds like an absolute dream, which we all agree, The animation is awesome. I love the animation. And like you can't blame them, man. The animation, the same guys who made Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter,
Yeah.
like they're doing it. They're doing it. He said right now, and it is expected to keep that up for its entire runtime. That isn't enough to retain the viewership that it deserves, which is true. It's not. It's not. It's. I think it premiered really high, and then it's like it's losing about 100,000 every single time it's viewed, and it's scary, because that means no season three. You know, that scares me about the future of this franchise. As the story is telling right now, while better for the show in the long run, is going to lose the casual audience who doesn't care for the running for 10 more seasons after this. There needs to be a goal that moves towards that doesn't depend on the existence of Vinland, and that might we never get to see. So that being said, that's true. Like
Yeah.
they got this long. Like I mean, I watched some anime in my life, bro, and I've never had three whole episodes of blank, bro. Like, and then it survives. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it automatically, like I tell you all the time, like it's like, man, after the season's done, it's like only two seasons, it's over. Like no more anime. They don't
Yeah.
make it too far, 4 or 5 freaking years down the road. They'll come back to it. When people forgot about this horrible second season. So that's the way I feel it's going right now. I don't know why they're sabotaging, man. I don't know why they're sabotaging themselves. But he makes a good point. It's not just him; it's other people in the articles that I read as well, that they're all saying the same thing, man. They're just like, dude, it's dragging on, like for some unknown reason why they're dragging this origin story forward like this, man. Like not even in the manga, man. Like in the manga, this happens like 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 6 chapters. This is all condensed like within 6 chapters, and it's sort of
Yeah.
like flip flops. So it told like it opened up the way the first episode opened, right? But then it flip flopped to the action, and then you were reading the manga, and it was the action, because they go into like Prince Flute's battle and stuff like that. So it's like all the action, and then it like flips over, tells you a little bit more of the story, and then it flips back over. You know what I'm saying? So this is
Yeah.
like all of this is happening. Like I guess they're just getting it out of the way. They're just getting it out of the way. First 4 or 5 episodes, I guess they're just getting it all out of the way, and hopefully after that, the next 7, 8, 9 are all action, and then of course they're going to go back to talking. So hopefully it works out, man. Oh Lord, let me tell you, man, I made a vouch for this one, and it's bitten me in the butt, bro. It's bitten me in the
you
butt.
you
Listen,
were like, you could have Tokyo. I'll take Vinland. I was like, all right.
yeah, because I thought it was gonna be easier, man. I was like, man, I know this is all talk over here in the Tokyo Revengers, bro. I'm gonna have the action. Hey, man, I got kicked in the butt, man. I got kicked in the butt by my own words. But yeah, man, definitely. Hopefully, it starts picking back up, man, and we can start having good time. But
Yeah.
all right, man. Well, that's it for Vinland Saga, man. I mean, that's it. It's done. You know.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
ain't
it's
much more left to it.
I guess what do you
Hopefully, Nick,
I'll give
what is your
I'll give,
score, sir?
man, I'm
For
gonna be nice and I'm gonna give it a 1. I, I'm gonna give it a one
oh
only
Lord,
because they gave me Snake at the end. That's the only reason why. Other than that, and that's me being very, very generous because I don't want to give up on this. I feel if I go zero point 0.5, I'm gonna probably just not even care to do this next watch next week. So I'm gonna do it a 1 only because of that. For me, it's like you said. I think if they did this where they gave you all of them and they dragged this out, it'd be fine because I can binge past this and get to the action. But you're giving me every week. I don't want to come back for this every week. You're not giving me nothing, and
yeah,
I'm on that point. I'm a fan. I know it's gonna get better, so I'm sticking with it. So I'm gonna give you a 1 this week, but if you give me something else next week, I might give you a straight up 0. I'm just gonna be honest. Like if it's another talking scene,
I gave
if
it a
Tokyo
2. No, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was like if
Go
Tokyo
ahead, sorry.
Revengers is better than it, I'm gonna be mad because that's a talking anime and I
Yeah,
accept
yeah.
it. But
Tokyo Revengers definitely beat it out this week. They're going head to head because the reason why is because these are two action ones, are the two most popular ones, and they're going head to head right now. Yeah, definitely, man. I gave it a 2, is what I gave it.
yeah,
Animation, great, love it.
yeah,
I love the animation. That's 1 star. I always have to give that 1 star to the animation team. And then 2, I gave it only in the sense that uh, it gave me a little more gore and action. That's why I gave it the other star. I gave it the
yeah,
other star because it showed Eren like holding the old man down, so we know how powerful he is. It shows Snake punching the dude in the face. We know how powerful he is. It shows Thorfinn how he don't have no, he's dead feeling. Yeah, I forgot they did cut. That's how boring this episode was. I forgot to cut his ear off until you brought it up. And I watched the episode twice, and I forgot
oh
about the
man,
goddamn ear coming off. Man. So
oh man,
like that's how bad it was, man.
yeah,
So yeah, definitely I give it a 2 star. That's my rating. I only keep it alive because, like you said, I got to, man. I gotta keep it alive, man. People go watch it. I promise go watch season 1 and just bear 1 and 2, 3 right now. So
oh man,
so that man, that's it. Vinland Saga. One more episode, man. You dog me 1 more episode, man. I'm gonna have to write a letter. I'm gonna have to write a letter to your studio, man. That's how bad it is, man. I'm gonna like, what is going on?
oh man.
So, but yeah, man. I guess now we can transition to our very end, to our recommendations for the upcoming week or your leisure time. We appreciate y'all coming down over here to Madara's Corner to watch our animes that we ask. We are doing Blue Locker, so that is coming up. Hopefully, we can tie something together this week so that we can put it all in the video, maybe a short 20-minute video for y'all. So just give you an overview, high level overview, season 1 to catch up. Because I think we're almost on the last episode. I want to say it's going to be in the 20s. It feels like it's going to be in the 20s, but it may end 15, 16. So I'll check out how many episodes they have slotted for this week, for season 1 for Blue Locker, because I think they just dumped it all out there. I don't think they were expecting much of it. But I was going to say, you were right. It's riding off the wave of Japan going to the Olympics and then going in and getting, basically they passed the first round, lost the second round. But I mean that's furthest they've ever gone, in FIFA, the World Cup, it's the second
They
round.
had people
So
dressing up
man,
as
all
them.
kudos to them. I don't watch soccer. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like you can hear a lot of references in there, like when they talk about like they're like we're that's the old Japan soccer, and then you go back and watch it and you're like, oh yeah, it's kind of funny. They are too polite, man. So yeah, but definitely, so we're doing the Blue Locker, so we have not forgot about that. It's a lot of episodes, so definitely we're catching that. Like I told Nick last night, man. Nick asked me this morning, man. I was like, Nick, I said 3 isekais I started last night. I started 4 isekais last night. I went on this isekai like rant. Yeah, I just started watching them all, man. I don't know what happened last night, but
Nice.
I do have some recommendations for you. The first one is the reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. Good. 3 episodes in. Good. It's all good, man. That had a really good vibe to it. It's based off it's like Neo. It's not Neo Tokyo. Listen to me. It's like medieval Tokyo. So like he's reincarnated in a different world in China. And then that's interesting because sometimes in Isekai they go like Japan to Japan, but he was reincarnated in ancient China. and then reincarnated into a medieval Japan. So yeah, it's interesting. It has a lot of good elements to it. Art, animation, awesome. That's gonna be a really nice one, guys. It's, like I said, it's 3 episodes in, really good. I love it. Second isekai that came out is saving 80,000 gold in another world to for my retirement. It's a fun anime. Go watch it. It is. It's. I promise you, it's a
Yeah.
fun anime. I see you laughing because these names are freaking ridiculous.
Oh,
It's
it's
like
really
no creativity anymore. There's no creativity anymore in these damn names. It's literally what it is. It's what it is now. So they got tired of coming up with these creativity names. So I'm gonna get to some really really funny ones. So that being said, it's a great anime. Girl, I'm not spoiling anything because it's in all within the first episode. I'm basically giving that synopsis of the first episode. So, girl loses her mom, her dad, and her older brother all in one night. They all die, and she's stricken with heart. She's supposed to go off to become like go to university, but it's life, man. Life happens. She doesn't get selected for university, therefore she can't go to school, and so she has to go to working life, just like regular life people, man. And so that's a really relatable thing. But it also goes into other elements and stuff like that. It's really good. And 3 episodes in, really good, really nice one. The third one, Isekai, it's I've been killing slime for 300 years and I maxed out my level. Literally the name of the Isekai. I've been killing slimes for 300 years. I maxed out my level. That is the name of the Isekai. And it's a nice, fun one, too, man. It's nothing hardcore. It's a good OP anime to watch. She's OP. It's cute. It's fun. I think the ladies will really like it. The guys, I think y'all like the animation style. It's really nice. But it's a fun anime. I suggest y'all go watch that one as well. It's about like if I had to rank them, it's gonna be. Let me finish up with this fourth one. So the fourth one, really good. I think everyone should go watch it. It's called the Handyman Saito. Handyman Saito in Another World. That one is a really good one. It was fun. It had great elements to it. It's like what happens if you're real life and you just drop yourself into an anime. It's into another world. It's like a real life situation. So he struggles with not being the hero. He just struggles with not having super high skills. He's struggling with being a regular guy, regular handyman in another world. So that's a good one. I have my fifth and isekai that I started today, which is it's no sub. It's all in Japanese, which it's a fifth one, but it's like it's a good one, but that's for another time. If I had to rank them, these four into 1, 2, and 3, and 4, I'm gonna have to say Reincarnation of the Strongest Exorcist 1. 2, it's I no, my apologies. Handyman 1, Reincarnation 2, saving 80,000, which is about 2 million yen in Japanese, 2 million yen, Japanese money, is what it really is 3, and then I've been killing slime for 300 is going to be the fourth one. But those are good recommendations of isekai this week. They all premiered around the same time. So they're all coming out like on the same time level. Episodes. They're like basically every single day you're gonna get a new one in there. So it's to keep y'all anime people going, man. That's my fave. I love isekais. That's my thing. But I'm also working on other ones too. Some shoujo, some shonen as well. Revenger. If anyone still hasn't seen it, please go see it. It's really good. Episode 4 dropped. It's going to be dropping. Sorry, it's really great. It's straight up, man. Sword fighting, master planning. You're gonna like it. It's all action. It's very little talk. All action. So it's a really nice one to watch as well. I know, Nick, you got anything to add on there?
I haven't caught up on any. I've been trying to catch up on Blue Lock, so for sure. I do know Record of Ragnarok is one that we're going to talk about. It comes out on the 26th, so in a few days.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
2 days.
Or yeah, two. So you have a chance to catch up on Netflix with the first season to get ready for the second season. I think it's like 10 episodes. I think what they put something like that. So catch up on that. I started watching Classroom of the Elite. I know that was one that was on our list a few
Mm.
weeks back, and so I know season three is coming out. They still haven't put a for sure date. It's probably gonna be a few more months from now, but it's going on season three. So that's one I kind of like for mine, and then another one that I know you told me and my brother Victor told me to do was Goblin Slayer. That was I know the second season's getting ready to come out, so that's one that the first season's already out. You can binge it if you want, catch up on some stuff, and those are two plus Record of Ragnarok that I think you can have some fun, catch up on, and then get ready for the new season as it begins.
Are we got the right anime? Classroom of the Elite.
I believe so. The one where they fight, they're all.
No, I think you're talking about rooftop classroom, rooftop high school.
Oh no,
Uh,
it says Classroom of the Elite. They're releasing season two and three, is what they said on the thing. So
rooftop high school. Are you sure? I don't think it's.
that's not Rooftop. Is
Oh, so it is.
yeah,
Oh, it is that one. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Man, my
I've
bad. I
seen
didn't
Roof.
know you were into JoJo. Yeah,
No,
that's a straight up shoujo, bro. That's a
I
girl's novel. Like just
I I
FYI, bro.
I
Like,
watched I I watched the TikToks, and so I was like, oh cool. So I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those animes where I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. It's so yeah. It may not be
you
it
dogging
may
that
not be one that
girl,
I it may not be one that I keep up with, but yeah, it's I mean it's ranked high. I was gonna give it a try. I give every anime at least the first season. I try to.
All right, man. My bad. Uh, yeah, yeah, man. I don't remember. That's why when you said that, I'm like, okay, let me look it up. I don't remember Classroom of the Elite. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Yeah, I may have called it out on a list.
Yeah.
It's anime. It's psychological thriller. So yeah, definitely. Let me get back in there and read and watch it. Man, I watched so many anime. Like I just gave y'all four that I just started last night. You know what I'm saying? I watched
Yeah.
so many of them, man. It's just like sometimes they all conflate together, and I mix anime up together, and I catch the raw name. But yeah, let me go back and I'll watch season one. I'll binge watch it this weekend, and then you know what we can do like the same thing because I'm all down for a psychological thriller, man. Those are the best kind of anime, man. Best kind of anime to watch right there. But yeah, man, I give it to you, man. That's a good recommendation, man. If you saw it, man, great, man. Uh, that's a good one. But just FYI, as a shojo,
I know. I
I
know.
thought we were shonen in this room, but all right.
No, I know. I know.
What's up, little
I know.
shojo? What's up, little shojo?
I let the
The
TikToks eat me.
closest
I was like,
shojo I get is Renoni Kenshin.
all I saw was the TikToks of them fighting. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I started watching. I was like, oh, this is not what I expected. All right. But
No.
I'm gonna give it its try. I'm gonna give it its shot.
Cool. All right, man. So yeah, definitely, man. Your Ragnarok is coming up, so we'll have a first episode done on that one. But once again, let us know in the chat, man, or in the suggestions, man, in the comments, man. Like, what do y'all want? What do y'all want to see? What do y'all want us to work on? What do y'all want us to get going better? If y'all like this way, that way, because we're here to open your eyes to existing anime, new anime that you haven't thought of, anime that's retro, anime that is niche, is something that we're trying to work on, because there's a lot of mainstream stuff out there. Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Dragon Ball, One Piece, Attack on
Yeah.
Titan, millions of videos on there. But how many are on Vinland Saga? How many are Vinland Saga, Tokyo Revenge, but like Classroom of the Elite? How many are on Classroom of the
Yep.
Elite, man? How many are gonna open your eyes to Ragnarok? How many are gonna open your eyes to Revengers and those kind of things? So let us know what your suggestions are, and we definitely definitely get y'all going with some anime. Like someone suggested Blue Lock. I'm not into sport anime, and I'll be truthful about it. I've never been into it, but I watched it. Great, awesome recommendation, man. Your ace is in my book. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But so let us know how you want to see, where you want to see us grow. So thank you all for watching. Thank y'all for being part of this growth. And Nick, I guess you want to send us off on a Madara's exit.
Yeah. Man, thank y'all for watching, guys and girls. Make sure you like, subscribe to the network. I'm gonna be making a Twitter for us to be dropping anime content and all types of stuff. I'll be putting in a description. I'll get it started soon. I'm gonna put our description of our Facebook group. You have Facebook, you can jump in there, drop anime memes, videos, everything, man. We're always in there joking around. You can talk to us, interact with us, give us some recommendations. Like you said, anything you want us to talk about doesn't have to be the biggest anime. We'll watch it, we'll review it, and everything else, give you our opinions. And then any animes coming out, I know everybody's gonna jump on the solo leveling train, but there's gonna be a lot more animes coming out. So just put the list down in the comments. I will be having a new poll going up. Check it out. I think y'all get a laugh out of it. We put it together. It's gonna be pretty funny. Um, that being said, man, thank y'all. Much love. Y'all have a good one, guys.